Hello everyone, welcome back to another video on Starting 11. Today's video is the Starting 11 based off the top 11 African countries. As you may have seen from the top 11 nations ranked by FIFA in the world video, that each country is allowed maximum one player, but one country will have two players in the video as the honourable mentions player needs filling. The manager will also once again be determined by a spin the wheel, and for the first time in a very long time there's been a change in the formation. Instead of a 4-3-3 with a cam, today's video is a 4-3-3 with a CDM. Here's an image of the top 11 nations for African countries. This doesn't mean this is their rankings for football including every other country, but based purely off African teams' ranking, which explains why there's another ranking number next to the first number, if that makes sense. I also would like to remind you lot of two things. The first is that there may be some players missing, as I can't include everyone. It's maximum one player per nation, the starting 11, and I also have to find the best possible balance. And the second thing is, please help us in achieving our goal. By the end of 2025, we're trying to reach 1,000 subscribers, so if you haven't subscribed, please make sure you do. Starting off with the goalkeeper, and representing South Africa, is Ronwen Williams, who is 33 years old, captains the South African national team, and plays for Mamelodi Sundowns. Ronwen Williams, if you didn't know, was ranked the 9th best goalkeeper in the world in 2024. That's quite impressive considering he doesn't even play in a European league. That's why Ronwen Williams is the goalkeeper in the starting 11 and represents South Africa. Moving on to the right back position. This is probably the most obvious selection in the starting 11. Representing Morocco at right back, it's not Mazraoui, for those of you who thought. Well, to be fair, I don't think anyone thought that. It's PSG star Achraf Hakimi. Hakimi is considered by some the best African player right now in the world, if not minimum top 3. He did have an excellent season, also scoring in the UCL quarterfinals, semi-finals, and in the final in PSG's Champions League win. That's why Hakimi is the right back in the starting 11 and represents Morocco. Onto the right centre back and representing Senegal is 33-year-old Al Hilal defender Kalidou Koulibaly. He may not be at his peak anymore, but is still a strong defender, evident in the Club World Cup, as against Manchester City he scored a thumping header and was key in defence for them in their 4-3 win. He also captained Senegal and was the captain of their AFCON winning side in 2022. That's why Koulibaly takes the right centre-back position and represents Senegal. Onto the left centre-back, representing Congo, Mbemba, who last played for Marseille and currently is a free agent, as he didn't extend his contract with Marseille. Mbemba is Congo's captain and is the voice of the team. He's strong in the air, got a good amount of pace on him, and decent passing, which is why he takes the left centre-back position, representing Congo. Completing the back line in the left back position, representing Algeria, is current Dortmund defender Rami Bensebaini, who's really become a key figure in that Dortmund side. It was difficult between him and Aït-Nouri, but I do think Aït-Nouri maybe in 2 years time or so will overtake Bensebaini, but I don't know. I picked Rami Bensebaini, you may not agree. It looked like as if there was no space for him in the Dortmund side anymore, but under new manager Kovac, he found a spot for himself in the team and has really stepped up for them in the absences of injuries, arguably being Dortmund's most consistent defender. Reviving his career as a left centre-back, he also plays centre-back for Algeria as well, but this is a recent trend as throughout his whole career, he was a left-back. That's why he takes the left-back position representing Algeria. Moving on to the midfield, and starting with the CDM, it's current Tunisian who plays for Frankfurt. Just a heads up, I've most likely pronounced this player's name wrong, but we'll still try. Shkiri. Wow. That's horror, I can just tell. I don't know why I even attempted it, but oh. Shkiri. How do you say that name? Let me know how you say that name in the comments, please, if anyone knows. The Tunisian plays for Frankfurt and was a key part of them securing Champions League football last season. He's a very good ball winner, which is why for me he takes the CDM position representing Tunisia. In the left central midfield position, Cameroon and Brighton player Beleba, who is linked away with a move from Brighton to United. As it stands, Beleba was one of the standout midfielders in the Premier League last season, as he's a very good carrier of the ball, a good passer, strong in his battles, can play as a lone 6 in double pivot, or an 8, making him very versatile as well. Do you think Manchester United will be able to get the signature of Beleba? And how much do you value him? But nevertheless, Beleba takes the left centre mid position and represents Cameroon. Completing the midfield in the right central midfield position is current Tottenham midfielder, representing Mali, Yves Bissouma. A good player on his day, but how often is he actually on his day is the question. He is Mali's main man and a Premier League footballer at the end of the day, which is why he represents Mali in the right central midfield position. Moving on to the attack, and starting in the left wing position is current Atalanta and Nigerian star Ademola Lookman. Well, I don't know how much longer Lookman will be an Atalanta man, as he's heavily linked away with a move to Inter Milan, but for the time being of this recording, he's an Atalanta player. Quick, skillful, deadly, versatile, agile, Lookman is a nightmare for most fullbacks to come up against, and very, very, very direct too. He famously scored a hat-trick in the Europa League final against unbeaten at the time Bayer Leverkusen. That's why for me, Lookman represents Nigeria in the left wing position. In the striker position is new Aston Villa signing, who joined from Nice for 30 million, Evan Gesand, if I said that correct, who's representing Ivory Coast. Gesand scored 12 goals and assisted 8 in 33 matches for Nice last year, which earned him his big move to Aston Villa. He's also starting to receive Drogba comparisons, not that I'm saying he will turn out like Drogba, but who knows what his ceiling is. He's representing Ivory Coast in the striker position. Completing the attack and starting 11 in the right wing position is someone who challenges Hakimi for the best African player in the world. Liverpool and Egyptian star Mohamed Salah, breaking records in the Premier League last season, scoring 29 and assisting 18 in the Premier League alone. He is some people's Ballon d'Or winner, which is why for me, he's representing Egypt in the right wing position. Speaking of Egyptians, the honourable mentions player is an Egyptian who plays for Manchester City. You probably know who I'm on about, Omar Marmoush. Unfortunately for him, the only attacker better than him in Africa, in my opinion, is in his own team, which is why he couldn't make the starting 11, but he will take the honourable mentions player. For the manager, like I said earlier in the video, we're going to do a spin the wheel, so here's the spin the wheel. As you can see from the spin the wheel, Algeria won it. The Algerian manager is Bosnian man Vladimir Petrovic, who's 61 years old and took over the Algerian national team in 2024. On to the predictions for the World Cup. I think the starting 11 based off the top 11 African nations would reach the quarterfinals if they played this team in the current World Cup. The attack carries Salah, Gesand, Lookman, an excellent front three. A solid defence with Hakimi, Ben Sebaini and the others. What lets them down for me is the lack of creativity in midfield. Basuma, Shkiri and Beleba all being similar defensive profiles, not really attacking ones, which is why I believe the starting 11 based off the top 11 African nations would place in the quarterfinals of a World Cup. That's the end of the video. If you enjoyed the video, don't forget to like, subscribe and turn notifications on, and comment what your thoughts are on my predictions. Reminder everyone, we're trying to reach 1,000 subscribers by the end of 2025, so please help us in achieving this goal. Thank you for watching.